Take one. Action.
Okay. I think
this is definitely take 3. Like, how long have we been filming? Do you want to restart?
Like 10 minutes.
10 minutes is crazy. Okay. I'm ready. I think I got it all out.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of
Indied Filmmakers with me and Rachel. We have our second guest on today, Mr. Avery Wilton. Do you want to quick introduce yourself, what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Avery Wilton. As Logan introduced me, I am a cinematographer here in Ottawa, Ontario. Also beyond, in Montreal, Toronto, those areas. And this is what I do full time. So, ask away. What are we chatting about today?
He makes movies for a living, man. Fully self-taught. You've done so many crazy things already. It's genuinely inspiring.
No, I appreciate it, man. And it's taken a lot of sacrifice and a lot of hard work to get here. I won't sugarcoat that part of it. It's taken a lot of effort and sacrifice throughout the years, but I'm really happy with where I am, and to be able to say, I get to wake up every day and pursue this as a career. Yeah. It's incredible. It is the most rewarding thing that I could have ever asked to do with my life. And awesome. For me, it's if you find that one thing that lights a fire in your soul, that one thing that you find just you have to do. And for me, this was what that was for me, right? So I think that was a big part of my success, was being able to channel that fire, that unequivocal thing that you just can't put your finger on, right. And being able to channel that and channel that to help you push past those anxieties, those fears, and all that stuff, right? Move past all of that. I think honestly it comes down to a lot of your attitude and stuff like that. And
some people they'll do something for a while, not really, I guess, knowing what their quote unquote calling is, or that thing that lights that fire, and then they find it later and they're they pursue that. Or were you kind of straight in? You're like, this is it.
And I'd like to piggyback off that, because that's a totally fine thing to not know what you want to do. Whenever I talk about it, I say that I was blessed, that I was, from a young age, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. So to answer your question, pretty much I'd say from a young age, I had a very keen interest and a heavy liking for, camera, photography, movie making, storytelling in general. I just didn't know how that would formulate to what it is today, right? Yeah. My first passion in life was soccer. So I grew up playing really competitive soccer. I got to do some really fun things, and it taught me a lot about hard work and grit and where that can take you in life. So I wouldn't be the same person I am without that experience. So I'm very grateful for that. But in the back of my mind, I always had this thing. I was like, I know that I want to be within this industry, and I didn't know, the positions, what interest me in that. Everyone's like, oh, I want to be a director, right? When they hear about Hollywood or anything like that. I didn't necessarily think that for myself, and exploring cameras and the more technical side kind of really showed me what I wanted to do, right? So that's kind of how I fell in love with cinematography, was through, just making your own stuff and then being like, I really like this, and then that sounds like this job has all of that. So I set my eyes on it, and I just went for it. So that's kind of, I knew from a young age that yes, filmmaking was going to be a part of my life in some sense, but that first passion was soccer. But then from there, I picked it up again and really fell in love with it, and just decided to make a career of it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
No, I love that.
Yeah, and you have to have, like, I can relate with the soccer, growing up playing soccer, and especially, like, OPDL. Got to have that drive. And I know we've talked before about how, that drive from soccer has been brought into film.
Absolutely,
And
yeah,
yeah,
totally. Like
can
coming,
definitely relate.
yeah. Coming from, doing competitive sports where it's like you're training 5 days a week.
Yeah.
You're playing on the weekends in Toronto, and like in school, you're known as the athletic or the soccer kid or the whatever sport it is.
Right.
That is your
Her
personality.
personality, yeah.
That's who you are as a
Yeah.
person within high school or whatever, wherever you played. And, taking that hard work and that grit into your career and your job, like that taught me so much about, okay, how much work does it actually take? What is your 10,000 hours? How much work do you have to put in to become, how do you become great at something?
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is to do it over and over and over again until it's second nature and until you're constantly improving yourself, right? And that's that's what we would do with soccer. And I relate a lot of my personal traits back to growing up playing those games and those hard practices and stuff like that. It's you push yourself mentally and physically, and that's it. If there had to be any job, I think you guys would agree that's like an extreme sport.
Mm-hmm.
Filmmaking would be an extreme sport.
It's definitely up
Definitely,
there,
it's not,
absolutely.
yeah.
It's not for the
It's hours on end.
yeah, right.
Week-long commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and it's the discipline of also like
Yes,
going back to
discipline.
the sports, the discipline
Yeah.
of knowing that like there is no instant gratification.
Yeah.
Like with sports, with like training, with video creation, whatever it is, like that's a very important thing, like skill to have or thing to know, because I kind of just want to relate to like social media and like and all that thing is you only see the best, you see the results, but you don't see the process.
Yeah, you only see the
You
highlights.
see the most famous people with the most likes and like the biggest things happening,
Yeah.
but you don't see everything in between.
Yeah, just the
Yeah.
highlights,
yeah, absolutely. And that's one thing that's really, it's a hard thing to grasp, especially like even for me, I'm a very, especially in career things, I'm a very impatient person, right? Like, so this career has taught me to be patient and to learn patience, really, because making anything in this industry takes a fucking long time, right?
Yeah.
Like a very long time. And that's a good thing, though. That means, you can't rush something that's, artistic and visual and combining a bunch of art forms, really. But, that point of long-term gratification, I feel like that's lost a lot on a lot of people, and especially in, might I say, some people in kind of our generation and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
There's that instant
gratification,
right? Especially you brought up social media and stuff like that, and that's kind of jogged my mind about, like we only see the highlights, we only get that kind of dopamine hit from social media, and we're kind of wired to always want that next thing. Whereas when you're looking at a career, you're looking at someone's last 30 years of their life.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a long time. Like you can do a lot within a couple of years for sure, but a career expands decades. So you have to visualize like where do you see yourself over those? What's your 10-year goal? What's your 20-year goal? Right? Because it's not only about, okay, what am I doing next month? What projects do I have this year? That's very important. But it's also, are you making decisions that are going to impact you in 10 years? What is that 10-year impact? What is that 10-year goal? Right? So I ask myself before I make every decision, is this getting me where I want to be in 10 years? Right? So before I make any decision on a project that I want to take or anything like that, is this getting me to becoming that cinematographer, that DP that I want to be? And if the answer is no, then I have to look internally why is that? And do I take that job or that gig, right?
Oh my God, bro.
So
I know, it's so cool, eh?
No, that's so true.
It's
If it doesn't
process, yeah.
align, yeah.
yeah.
What is your 10-year?
It's a good, no.
Yeah, if you feel comfortable
have to.
sharing.
No.
like,
I absolutely, I think it's very important, and I think about that, and I think goals should be relatively flexible. You can have a career goal, and then maybe that changes a couple years down the road. You're like, you know what? Maybe this wasn't for me, and that's fine. That's totally fine. Again, people find their passions later in life, 30s, 40s. It doesn't matter, right? As long as you're pursuing that thing that makes you feel alive, and that's what this is for me. But as far as a 10-year goal, I would say that's like it's a tough one because it combines for me a little bit of personal life and work life, right? So right now, my balance in my life is very career oriented. But in 10 years, I'd like to be able to make that split a lot more even, right? So I'd like to be in a place where I can take a couple projects a year, feature films where I'm the DP of these, larger films, preferably that have, grand budgets and all the grandness that we'd all like to get to someday.
Yeah, the Hollywood level.
Right. Yeah, doing those larger than life projects. And then, within 10 years, I'd like to start considering building that family life and stuff like that too, right? So I'd like that split to be a lot more even so that I can say, hey, I'm going to work like a dog for the next 6 months and then I can raise my family, or I'm going to take this project and take a month off. Because family's really important to me, and building that lifestyle that's sustainable within the industry, I think is really hard, just because of the hours and the demandingness of it is
sporadicness.
Exactly. It's like, it's really hard to have that kind of stability that you need. So I'm always thinking about that. Like, what are opportunities that I might be able to build towards that could give me some passive income that can supply for down period. You know what I mean? Because there's been hard years on the industry as of recently, and as of now. So it's really interesting to think about that. But I'd say in a general scheme, I'd say I'd like to be doing larger films, just DPing feature films, commercials here and there if they come up, and starting to think about building that work-life balance a bit more, and maybe starting family and stuff like that. And
nice.
Yeah, so that's, in general terms, that's my 10-year goal.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Cool.
Yeah.
Any feature, like any specific genres?
Oh, that I'd like to work in?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I would absolutely love to be able to do something grand in every genre. I would like to be able to dabble a little bit in horror, a little bit in drama, a little bit in sci-fi. But to me, what it comes down to, and the movies that have impacted me a lot have been the ones that are down to earth and between two people or a small cast. So those ones where it's a humanized story, it's, there's not these, there's ways to tell stories of like a different grandness, right? So like you think of Interstellar or anything that's larger than life, I'd say, right? And that's emotional, but things that have always hit back home for me is stories that are between human connection, and you can tell it's done with a lot of love, a lot of pride, and most of the time those are based on true stories. So those films to me, at the end of the day, I want my work to affect you and to make you maybe think differently about something. So any story that has that impact, I absolutely care deeply about.
The stories that are more personal and intimate, like you leave the theater and you're genuinely like a changed person.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you felt it because like there was a connection on screen. There was the writing, the score, and the stories really down to earth. It's not some action blockbuster. You know what I mean? It's
it's not a big grand presentation. It's
Yeah.
just like, this is this period of life between these few people.
Yeah.
And then
And can you take something away from that? What is the thing that you take away from that?
And I think it's easier for people to relate when it's not so all over the place. And like those movies are fun. Don't get me wrong.
That's why I want to do them. Like, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love to shoot a big grand action sequence. Right? We all want to do that. Absolutely. But when I look deep down, exactly. That's what drives me, and that's the thing that I want to always come back to at the end of the day is my work changing people's lives. And that's where documentary comes in as well, right? Yeah. Like I love documentary. So
because that's as real as it gets.
Exactly. And that documentary will stand the test of time throughout all the craziness, all the AI stuff.
Exactly.
Because it's real human stories.
Always needed.
It's always needed. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Like if you could go back in time to like you starting out.
Yeah.
And give yourself advice. You know,
or even any advice you have for people trying to get into the industry.
Yeah, just up and coming creatives.
Yeah, absolutely. So I live by, there's multiple values, and having a strong foundation to work from, I think, is very key when pursuing something as ambitious, as crazy as you have to be in this industry. I think building yourself a strong foundation to work from is really key. But there's one thing I always come back to, and I've come back to time and time again, is do what you love and money will follow.
Oh, that's good, man.
So for me, that's always been, of course, people have bills to pay, all of that stuff. But if you keep pursuing that thing that you wake up, the thing that you wake up and you think about first, and the thing that you wake up and makes you get out of bed or puts a smile on your face, you get that, you get those jitters beforehand, you're so excited to do, you just can't fucking wait to do it.
Yeah.
That's the thing that you need to be doing for the rest of your life. Because I'm sorry to say, but work takes up so much of your life.
Yeah.
You might as well fucking enjoy what you do. Yeah. Right? Like, so that's like, I'm all biased in that. So take it with a grain of salt. You can, have a 9 to 5 and have your work life be balanced like that. But for me, I think, again, work takes up, a vast majority of our lives. Why would you not pursue something that is going to be fulfilling, that's going to be how you can leave your mark on the world, right? So there's, I guess, a couple pieces of advice I'd like to relay is that, one, yes, what's that?
It takes up 90,000 hours roughly work.
Of your lifetime?
Yeah.
So
90,000 hours.
Yeah.
When you think about what would you rather be doing, right? Like in an office cubicle, typing away.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. The monotony of life can get in the way, and for me, it's so important to fulfill yourself with that, and I've come to terms that I'm like, yeah, work's gonna take up more of my life than it would someone else who's maybe working, a safer job or a cubicle job or government job or something like that. And you can love those jobs. Absolutely you can. Nothing wrong with that. But I've come to terms with the fact that I love this and I want to die with the camera in my hand. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to shoot movies till I'm in the grave, right? Yeah. Till I can't anymore, because that's
what gives you life.
That's exactly what, work, your life doesn't have to be work.
Exactly.
But when work doesn't feel like work. I don't know where I was going with that, but you know what I mean? Like, life doesn't have to when your work, like for me, work is not work. Yeah. It feels like I'm working. Playing. I'm playing and I'm having fun and I'm fulfilling myself. Spiritually, there's something about this that's really fulfilling for me. So find that thing. What is that thing that you cannot live without, that you know, if you didn't have in your life, you don't know where you'd be, that outlet that you have, right? This is an outlet for a lot of us.
Yeah.
It's a creative place for a lot of us to maybe channel things, that traumas, whatever. What is that thing that you want to do that gives you chills in the morning, that makes you who you are?
Yeah.
Pursue that.
It's the fuel.
And money will follow. So don't worry about money in the beginning. Just
It'll
do it
come.
because you love it.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that money will follow that.
I love
So-
that.
That's great advice.
No, seriously, yeah,
Damn.
I like that a lot. So
Yeah.
You should just be the new host.
You're playing. You're
Holy
playing.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's so true though. Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people try to capitalize immediately.
yeah,
what I mean?
and they don't get what the results they want, and they compare it to like inconsistent like paycheck and stuff. That's not how it works. And
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, just again the instant gratification.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
No, it's
In a-
true.
In a
It's,
nutshell, I hate to say it.
it's what it comes back to is your long-term gratification.
Yeah,
Yeah, like money's an instant gratification thing.
Mhm.
Like I could not sell out, but like I could, you know, get a corporate job, like in the video space that pays very well, do all this stuff, get a lot of money, a lot of cash flow, whatever.
yeah.
That
But
stuff
are you enjoying it?
exactly.
worthwhile
Is
for
it
your
That's
time?
it.
is the money, is the trade-off
Is it really?
for my time?
Yeah,
Is that going to get me, again, that's why I keep going back to that. Is that going to get me to the place that I want to be? It's not. So there's
There's
my
your
answer.
answer, yeah.
I'm not going to trade my time for that money.
Mhm.
I don't care if it pays stupid well, if it's not going to get me to that position. I unfortunately have to remind myself that, you know, the money will follow and keep on this path, right?
Yeah, because the money will come, but like you said, like it'll fluctuate, but your time, like the time that you
Your
spend,
time's-
is the same.
Your time's finite.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
finite and it's
You can
it's
always-
consistent. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
you just can't compare a 9 to 5 to freelance.
No, it's totally,
You know
yeah,
what I
it's a
mean?
totally
So-
different
and just,
beast. Yeah.
Instant gratification. You gotta be patient, man. You gotta put yourself out there and network and just keep
Yeah, because I'm saying if you
pushing.
join a corporate job,
Mm.
9 to 5, make a crazy fuck ton of money,
Yeah.
you become a millionaire.
Yeah.
But
Then what?
if you didn't do that
Yeah.
and you kept doing what you're doing and you're making all these cool stories,
yeah.
Yeah.
you know, a year from now, that same year
Yeah.
spent still goes by the same way.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
do you want to spend it doing that
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
actually living, or
Mhm.
just now I have more money?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
You
It's
can.
not
This
all
is
about
that's
money,
really all it
man.
is.
Like
this is the thing that
No.
people forget about. Well, anyways, take this with a grain of salt. But you can always make more money.
yeah.
You can't
more
make your time back.
Can't make more time.
hmm
That's true.
So spend your time wisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just flies by.
Mhm.
Like look at it, we're like almost into April of 2025.
I know.
Yeah, 2025.
In 2025 and in general.
Yeah, I
I
remember
think-
when I first started
Mhm.
in like 2020.
Mhm.
I was scared, and then now I'm talking on a fucking podcast. Like this is cool,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But that was 4 years of my life
Mhm.
to get here,
Yeah.
and man, those have flown by,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
we just got to be conscious of where your time's going.
Yeah.
Is your time getting you to that thing that you want to get to?
Yeah.
That's why I think it's very important to consistently make goals for yourself, like realistic ones, like
Absolutely.
weekly, monthly, yearly,
Absolutely.
5-year, 10-year, like the 5-year,
And holding
10-year,
yourself
like
accountable.
with a grain of salt. Sorry.
So I was just saying, holding yourself accountable.
Yeah, and take
to it.
action. And take action. Yeah.
action.
Yes.
But yeah, just consistently setting goals so then you're really kind of in tune of what you really want.
Mhm.
And you know, with those projects, because you were saying like, you know, you want to get to a point where you can choose the projects that kind of are fulfilling to you, and
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, no, absolutely. And just like
So-
be able to, yeah. And that's, I think, being able to be in a place where, you know, your work is sought after in a certain sense, or your personal brand, or however you've built it, is sought after, that you can be picky, quote unquote,
Yeah.
with those jobs that you take, so that, you know, and then your rates go up with that, so that you can maintain the certain boundaries and lifestyle that you want. But yeah, like, I mean, for me, that's getting to just be able to live off of being a DP for feature film narrative work and take documentary and commercials on the side.
Yeah.
Right. So that's building up to that is going to take a long time, but
It's worth it.
it's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And enjoy the journey. This is, oh dude, this is something I forget so much.
Enjoy the journey.
Is enjoy the time in between.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for the next goal, with the next thing that I can do. Like, I'm so impatient with that.
Yeah.
But I forget so much. I'm like, I gotta enjoy the moment
Live
right
now.
now.
Live now.
Because man, it
flies.
flies by, right?
Being where your feet are.
Yeah. Being right now and present it's something that I've struggled with, and
It's hard to do.
yeah,
It is.
it's really tough. So I don't know, man. It's just enjoy the in between the mountains, right? Like the climb is everything.
Yeah. It's about a balance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you see those videos of people like hustling day in and day out, like grind.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, if you don't, like, what are you grinding so hard for if you don't have the balance for everything in between? For
Exactly.
taking it,
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
burn yourself out, not even just that, like, you kill yourself doing that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
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 But then at the same time, if you do nothing, you're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah.
balance again.
So, yes, I think I absolutely agree. Balance is key in life,
Yeah.
but it's hard to strike.
Yes.
That's why I like that ring, the yin and yang ring you have.
Yeah,
I love that thing.
yeah,
Shout out.
yeah. I'm not wearing it, but
Oh,
next
no,
time,
it's
next
okay.
time. Yeah.
But that's so true, yeah. And I think as like creative people,
Yeah.
and really for anyone, like, this isn't just like an artist thing, but it's easy to kind of get stuck in your head,
It is.
Yeah.
About-
It's so easy to.
things and like whatever life, blah blah blah. It's hard to just be like grounded,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
And it's tough, and you're, with social media, and this is a whole podcast episode on social media stuff, but it's, for me, comparison is the thief of joy. So
Look at us.
no, seriously, it is
Yeah.
very hard to not compare in this industry. Why aren't I doing what they were doing this at this age? Why aren't I there yet? Why aren't I DPing this big film? Why did that person get picked over me? Why did I lose that gig? Yeah, those questions are going to come up, but at the end of the day, you're where you're at because of the work you've put in, and it might be a situation that's out of your control, right? So you just never know. So it's tough in the moment, but I don't know. It's a really hard. Again, I think it's a balance, right?
Yeah.
I think it comes back to balance. Is like, sure, kick yourself in the ass a little bit. Like, maybe I could have worked harder for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Move on.
Yeah.
Get the next
Yeah.
one. Who
Exactly.
cares?
You're where you're supposed to be right now. Like,
Yeah.
you're supposed to.
Yeah. And we're on our own paths, like.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
like, your life,
Exactly.
you know,
Like,
I
we
can't-
all,
True.
yeah, you literally can't compare to anybody else but yourself.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
nobody else has the same path as
It's very true.
Mhm.
It's very true. Yeah.
like. There's nobody else in the world that has the exact same like childhood, everything
Mhm.
path. So
Yeah.
why are you comparing to them? I mean, easier said than done. I still compare, but
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
we're all
just
victims.
as a
All
reminder.
victims of comparison because
Yeah.
of,
Especially-
unfortunately, social media
yeah, it's brutal.
That's
presses that.
It's
like I
bad.
said, you see the best things, you see the biggest
highlights.
things.
You don't see the
people doing their
downs.
coolest things. You're like, why am I not doing that?
Mhm.
Why am I not following that path? Look at this guy making all this money.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
am I
Or
doing?
with
What am
this-
I doing? What am I doing wrong?
What am I doing
When you're
wrong?
not. You're not doing anything wrong. You're where
Yeah.
you're supposed to be for me.
Oh, that was a lot of fun, guys.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
Man.
Yeah, we
It was
really
fun.
appreciate you being here,
Yeah.
being our second guest, and you'll definitely be back.
And for everything we've done together since we've met, you know. all
It's
the projects,
crazy.
all the
Yeah, we
times
met in
we've
October
hung out.
2024
Yeah. No.
in a parking lot,
In a park.
Oh my god, it was
practicing
It was
focus
Octo-
pulling
yeah,
for.
It
the
hasn't been long, bro. It has. Yeah, we haven't
What?
known each other for long. Yeah.
Feels like
yeah.
we've known each other
Crazy.
for a long
Well,
time.
that's that
we
bond
met,
thing.
We met in the summer, but
Yeah, I
we
mean, it
did-
was
Oh,
over
it-
coffee. Like, we
yeah,
kept it.
We became acquainted.
Yeah. Like I
That's-
met you face to face,
Yeah.
hand in hand. But that's
God.
Lips to lips.
Oh my
The rest-
god, the rest is history.
yeah.
Goddamn.
that's funny.
Yeah. It really hasn't been long.
Yeah.
I know that's
Damn.
crazy.
But your bonds with these people, right?
Mhm.
Like like I genuinely believe we're very similar people.
We are,
So yeah, your bonds just develop so much faster than anything else I've
Yeah.
experienced, really. So
Yeah, a lot in
Likewise,
common.
likewise,
Yeah.
A lot in common, like film in general, but the same mindset. We're all into like
values.
values and fitness
Absolutely.
and just fucking around. Brain rot.
Like the first 20 minutes.
The first
Yeah.
cut to.
It needed to happen. It needed to happen. Or
Hey,
it would have.
It's gotta get. Yeah.
It would have.
It would have been in the middle of it. If
Yeah,
it
and
didn't
then we
happen
would have
in the
like ran
beginning.
out of storage on the guard because we would have just been hysterically laughing.
Yeah, but that's exactly what happened when we went to your place. Remember?
Yeah.
We went to the hot tub.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
like fast forward 15, 20 minutes. We're like,
Philosophical.
Yeah, that's where it always ends.
Conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, seriously.
Balance is key. We were just saying, you know.
Hey.
It's a balance.
Shout out. Yeah.
Shout out, yeah.
And if you can reach those highs with those people,
Yeah.
you found
We found it.
the people that align with you.
Yeah.
Found your people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's it.
Plug your socials or any last words.
Any last words? Yeah, you're not leaving this room.
Leaving in a body bag, bro. That's all I
Exactly,
know.
bro.
Yeah,
And you even
it's
brought us
over
a cart
there.
to carry you. Thanks, man.
Yeah, that's why we made you bring the card actually.
We rolling you out on a body bag.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
Rich's mom dropped her off so we could take your car.
Yeah, so we're gonna end there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for us, maybe
you go.
fortunately for you
Fortunately,
guys.
yeah.
Maybe fortunately for the haters.
You're
but
like, fuck, I don't know if I want to work with these guys. I don't know. I'm kind of nervous to meet them now.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to plug your socials, but we're really grateful. Logan and I are very grateful to have you on. Just a
thank you.
variety of topics we got to learn about, talk about, and we got to pick your brain about chasing light. Logan
Absolutely,
mainly,
yeah, it was an honor.
asking those questions and getting to know you
those
more.
deeper subjects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like this is what we made the
Important
podcast for, to have conversations. Obviously, like just genuine conversations. Like obviously we have, specific questions we'd like to ask and
Fun
fun ones, reoccurring questions we'd like to ask guests, at least one. But
Absolutely.
it's genuinely, like I've said the last episode, for like the one with you and I and the one with Nana, like this is just like I want it to be a space for people to, have a platform and just talk,
No, appreciate you guys taking the time to have some good conversation.
Plug your socials.
Yeah, if you aren't following me, follow me, Avery Wilton DOP, on all platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, all platforms. Follow me there, and see you guys around.
Cut. Get out of it, okay?